Hello my gorgeous makeup loving friends, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hi, my name is Teresa. You may have watched a recent video of mine which was the Melt Amor Y Mariposa unboxing, and that was where I got all of the new collection, unboxed it and swatched it. And today's video is trying it all out and creating this look. So if you are interested in a tutorial of this eye look, I also use the blushes, etc., then this is the video for you. I'm also going to be giving you a rundown of what I think of each of the items. So is it worth your money? Or can you safely avoid it and put your money into something else? Like, I'm not saying like that you have to buy anything sensible like a house or something. You can buy your feelings, but maybe, you know, is this worth putting your feelings money towards? Yeah. Anyways, if that sounds like something you're interested in, then do please keep on watching. Okay, so I wanted to try as many things from this collection as possible. So that includes the brushes. But the first thing I did was just use this MeltCosmetics Lapis brush, which actually came as part of the Melt Amor, like the Amor Eternal collection. And I'm going into Abrezos, which is this shade here. And I'm just applying that to the inner corner. And I'm using my problematic queen mirror because, well, I can do what I want. This is a very, very good red. Like, look at how pigmented that is. I think that might be one of the best reds that I've come across. So I'm going to attempt, notice how I say the word attempt, to get this sort of a line in that way. And just laying it down like that. Now, when I tell you this is me being very lazy, it is me being very lazy. I'm now using the MeltCosmetics Sombra Angular 627. And I'm going into the shade Mensage, which is this one here. And I'm just going to pick up a bit of that and whack it in there. I believe is the technical term. Yes, whack it. And then that's when all the blendy happens. So just swishing it back and forth with what can only be described as reckless abandon. So yeah, I mean, this is such a lovely Christmas present from my parents. And yes, I know it's November. You don't have to tell me what time of year it is. I'm very aware. I know how time works because I'm clever. I'm taking that brush again, the little Lapis brush, and I'm going back in to the, was it Abrezos? Because it does kind of tend to wander off once you blend, which is, you know, what you would expect. And I'm going in with the Sombra Angular again and just swishy, 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 swishy. Nothing major, nothing wild, just a bit of swishy swishy. Taking a bit more of the Mensage and just popping it in there. Again, I'm so sorry if I am not pronouncing these names correctly. I am very Caucasian. I apologise for my caucasity. It's disgraceful, quite frankly. That is close enough. I'm taking this Morphe M562 and now I'm going into the shade Mariposa, which is the perfect sort of an orange shade that you see sometimes on those butterflies. So it's kind of wonderful. So I'm kind of putting it in the intersectionality between those two shades. Not a nice word, intersectionality. I know, can't help it. So cool. Now I've used all of the liners as well because I was like, why not, Teresa? Let's try them all. Let's give it a little look-see. Now, I feel like I got more of Mensage on this side than on this side. So I want to pop it on top a bit more and just really build it up. Do I put stuff into the brows? Absolutely. And are you going to judge me? You better not. Otherwise we can't be friends. You know? Can judge me, but in the comfort and convenience of your own home. Do you know what? That's all right. That is okay. And again, I'm using that Morphe brush and going into the Mariposa and just swishy swishy to just give that little bit of shimmer. It's a very matte heavy palette. There aren't that many shimmers in it, so if you don't like that, then You know, it's not the palette for you. I actually think Melt do really nice mattes. I think that's one of their better things, in my opinion, in terms of like eyeshadows. Yeah, that's it. So I'm going to cut this, and the gold that I used on the liner here is the Estrella. So super simple. I'm gonna do that all off camera. Try not to miss me too much. Okay, so the crease has been cut. Don't mind my spotty skin. And I am using this Zoe, the 238. It is life, it is love, it is everything. And I'm going into the shade Noob, N-U-B-E, which I'm assume is like Nube or something. Not like, oh, you're a noob to this. Although, you never really know. And all I'm doing is just popping it along here. I know, so complex. Look, do you know what? Not everything can be complicated. It's fine. It can sometimes just be that you've done a series of odd twists and turns on your makeup, and that's okay. That is okay. The pigment on this, really bloody good. Look at that. Getting a nice deep purple. Alexis, are you looking? Alexis is one of my lovely Patreons, and she has a thing for purples. So I'm assuming she's slightly losing her shit over this purple, which is fair. It's a fabulous one. Now I'm taking this Melt brush, and it is the Sombra Plana. So it's part of the collection, and again, just popping that on because that's helping me get that little bit more of that colour on. Why not? Smack it all on. Yeah. So you can see you don't have to do all that much to get that one to build up. Very happy with that. That will do nicely, pig. That will do in this scenario. I'm the pig, not you guys. I'm not that horrible. I'm just calling myself a pig, not you. Although pigs, very, very cute animals. Very, very smart. Smarter than some humans. Who knows? Anyways, I'm using the 238 again, and this time I'm going into the shade Almohado or Almohada. So again, please excuse me if I'm screwing up the pronunciations, and just popping that out here. Now, this I think could have been a little bit different in tone than Nube, because I think they're a little bit too close to the point that when you blend them, you can't see much differentiation between them. Maybe that's just me. It probably is just me, you know. It would not be the first time that I am saying SH1T that makes no sense. No sense. Don't know why you're watching me. Hi. Anyways, then I have, oh yeah, this is a good one. So this is the Melt Mini de Fremende, the one that I can't bloody pronounce, right? I'm taking this without any product on, and I'm just going between the two to attempt to kind of diffuse and get them to blend pretty nicely. Now, the problem with this shade that I found particularly on the other eye is it has a tendency to kind of be patchy. So I don't love that. I think they could have done away with this one and just kept with the shade Noob, because as you can see, it is a little bit patchy. So I struggled to get that to blend out on the other side as well. So for me, I didn't love that aspect of it, you know. Just being very honest, you know, that's what you want. So in order to try to blend that out, I took Noob and the Almohada and put it on the same brush and just swishy between the two in the hopes that that would help a little bit. But it was not easy at all to try and get it to come out. So I love that. Taking this same brush again, and this time I'm going into Sagredo. Sagredo, yeah, sorry. Anyways, I'm popping that here and just going swishy, back and forth. There, Bessie, there. I am Bessie. I'm just kind of doing it like that, just getting a little bit of a colour in there. Nothing actually very precise, which is funny considering there's quite a bit of kind of graphicness to this. But you're like, that's kind of what I do, isn't it? Yeah. Precisely imprecise, you know? yeah, so that's essentially it for here. And obviously then the liner, I say obviously, I don't know why I'm saying obviously like it's an obvious thing. The liner that I used was Colibri, which is the blue. Now I thought that would be a bit more pigmented, but look, it is what it is. So I'll cut this off, I'll come back, the liner will be on, and we'll finish off the rest. It's not that bad, is it? I don't know. Okay, so now I have the Lapis Fino, which is like a fine pencil, I assume is what it means. And I'm going into Guamucho. Don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but there you go. Anyways, super simple, just following along the line here. You can see this is a beautifully pigmented grungy green. I wonder how similar it is to the green from like the Melt Gemini. May have to check that out at some point, just to see. Because I am constantly getting things that I don't need, but just want because I'm an idiot. There you go. Welcome to my TED Talk. And I'm just popping that on with no real precision. Just smack it on. That will do nicely, pig. That will do nicely. Yeah. So again, just kind of, I'm putting that all the way out there. And again, not to any sort of exact precision. And I've put that through the colour switch. And this time I'm going into Carino, which is a nice kind of minty green almost. So I'm popping that just out here. And future Teresa is blending these. Good luck, future Teresa. We believe in you. We don't really, but you know, good luck and all that. So literally just popping it out there like that. Don't worry, I know it looks terrible right now. It'll look terrible later too. I am using the Spectrum B11, and now what I'm doing is taking the Guamucho and the kind of minty shade, and I'm taking them on the same brush. I'm just going backwards and forwards because, you know, why not? Now, this didn't blend in the best way. Like the two shades didn't blend for me quite as nicely as I might have liked. So there is a little bit of patchiness with the Guamucho. Why is it a word I can't pronounce? Oh well. And just attempting. So again, I'll take a bit more of it, pop it there, and kind of attempt to blend out. I say attempt because let's face it, taking a bit more of the mint, popping that there. And just kind of doing it like that. Now, the next thing I do is then I just take this Pincel Denso and I go into the shade Sentimentos and Michoacan, which is that one there, and I just pop it like this. So that's essentially it. It's super simple. Then obviously the liner, I used the remaining one, which was the sort of pink. So it's the shade Concha. But if I'm 100% honest, it wasn't giving me the full effect that I wanted. So I had to go in with a patent, which is from OBV. So that's it, and I'll come back and we'll do like the blush and stuff together. Okay, so I finished off almost the rest of my face, and I know I look a bit manic, but it is all going to come together, I promise. I think maybe, possibly, who knows. Anyways, I have this Melt brush. It's the Rubor 718, and I'm going into the blush palette. I know, very exciting. And I think what I'm going to do is take Sonrisa and take Felice, these two, and pop them onto the same brush, and we'll see. I'm not great with blush. Yes, did I apply a couple of things? Yes I did. I applied some butterflies and some hearts because I took the whole thing about Amor Y Mariposa a little bit too effing literally. Oh well. So at this point, I've used pretty much all of the brushes, bar one, and I'm going to use that now in a little bit. Oh my god, I put on way too much. Hey blush, what you doing? You can get off my face now. That would be helpful. Blush, blush, blush. Don't know if it's gonna totally suit the Caucasians amongst us. Oh lordy. Hello? You're really there, blush. Like, this looks very manic in reality. Don't know if this is necessarily being caught on camera in the same way. Actually, no, it's starting to look normal. It's a nice brush though, I will say. I'm just gonna take a bit of my bronzer. It'll help if I picked it up. It's one of those days, lads. It's one of those days. And let's just pretend that things are going right. And then I'll take a little bit of setting powder. Don't you come at me saying that I've done things wrong. I'm very aware. I'm not very good at doing face makeup. Just putting a bit of like setting powder on just because it might like buff it out a little bit. I feel like that looks a bit manic. Looking at myself in the viewfinder. Hey, you weirdo. Has that kind of helped a bit? Who knows? Anyways, whatever. Very, very pigmented. I would say go in with an exceptionally light hand, lest bad things happen to you. So that means I just have the lips to do. So, oh, actually no, I have to do highlighter. So, obviously there was no highlighter as part of this, such a pity. So I am using this MeltCosmetics, the Pomelo Alto, which is, I think, going to be a really good highlighter brush. And I'm using the Fenty Beauty Rose Rave rather. Matty, if you're watching, that's right, I do like Fenty too. Matty, however, is the biggest Fenty fan that has ever graced Goddess's green earth. Yeah, this is a decent highlighting brush. Don't think it's necessarily my favourite, but it isn't bad. It's not bad. By the way, Rose Rave is really good for the pale amongst us. You know, if you are recently climbing out of the grave, this is a highlighter for you, my friends. Because just because you are recently deceased doesn't mean that you can't glow to the gods. Unless you're trying to avoid them, in which case maybe put it back, you know. Just saying. Yeah, it's a decent highlighting brush. Now, I don't think it's as good as, for instance, my Silver Beauty 140. I much prefer that. I'm going to take a bit of that on now, and you'll see it packs on a little bit more. It's just kind of shaped a little bit better. So I think that brush, not quite my favourite, but it's not awful. Not awful. Now, that means we're on to the very last bit, which is the lip liner and the lipstick. So what I decided I'd go for is the lip liner in Esperanza, which is a pink, and I wanted to go for the glittery sort of lipstick in Amor Y. Not necessarily sure these two will match with each other, but do you know what? Life is short, and we're gonna give it a go. So, okay, that's it. I'm gonna go do my hair, look a bit better, and then we'll come back and we'll have a little chat about everything. It always looks a little bit better when you do something with the hair, i.e. take it down from a terrible, terrible bun. I don't have enough hair to do a bun. Anyways, this is the look. I've used all of the products. I obviously didn't use all of the lipsticks, but I've swatched them. Go check out a previous video. This is the look. I will zoom you in now so you can see what I did. So this is the look. Don't look at my spots. But yeah, I put some little hearts, some butterflies. I did try to use colours from each of the rows to try and see how each of them are going. Obviously had to use the purples because purples are very difficult to formulate without them being patchy, etc. So I could kind of see how they look. Used all the liners. So yeah, that's it. That's the whole look. So that brings us on to the review section. So let's just chat about each product. The brushes I really liked. I thought they were really good. I think, you know, maybe like the likes of the highlighter brush, which is what I think it is. It probably isn't. They'll probably be like, no, Teresa, you're an idiot. I didn't love that. I think I have better ones there. However, that being said, I think they're pretty nice. I think maybe this is a little bit too densely packed for a blush brush. I prefer something a little bit floofier because it does pack on an awful lot and it does make me look a bit clownish, which I don't love. All the rest of the brush is great. I would have liked a smaller detail shader, but that is just me. You know, I'm not unhappy with that portion of things. The lip liner is beautiful, creamy, very, very nice. Very, very happy with those. 10 out of 10. Couldn't fault them. I think they're really, really nice. The lipsticks, some of the components stick a little bit, but nothing massive. I personally prefer liquid lipstick to bullet lipsticks, but that's not the point. The components of these, absolutely gorgeous. I really like this shade. It is the shade Amor Eterno. I think there's something a little bit different about it. I think it's really nice. Yeah, I would say, yeah, it's a pretty darn good item. Probably a 10 out of 10 with that one as well. So that then brings us on to the blush palette. Ha! Okay, this is lovely. I think this is really, really nice. I think there's a nice kind of row of orangey shades and then of pinky shades. So I think that's very much on trend. I will say though with blush palettes, you know, these are very pigmented. So go in carefully. So I think this is actually going to be pretty good for somebody who has a deeper skin tone as me, but for somebody who is as light as me, be very careful. Very, very careful. Does slightly frighten me, but beautiful packaging. 10 out of 10. I think that's fantastic. Yes. Now, let's get on to the liners. Now, not each of these were not created equally. I'm going to start off with Concha because I feel the need to talk about each of these in isolation. This is okay. It's okay. I'm sorry. Wanted to really like it. I really like a bright pink for a liner. But this doesn't quite get the opacity that you need. I think there's much better out there. Now, I know it's not a gel liner, but Scrunchy by Suva, really bloody good. I think this is about a 5 out of 10. Didn't love it. Then we have Colibri, which is the Metal Bond, and that's the blue one. Doesn't really translate as very metallic on the lid, unfortunately. I think there could have been a lot more with that. Still definitely better than Concha, but I would say maybe a 6.5. No, a 6. Yeah, I don't think it would warrant the price tag. This, however, oh, Estrella, was not expecting to like this as much as I did. Super pigmented. Really bloody good. 10 out of 10, could not fault, really, really like. Now, let's face it, all of us that look at makeup launches, the thing that usually catches our eye is the eyeshadow palette. I mean, the detailing is absolutely fantastic. Now, it is a good palette, it's nice. However, don't come for me. I know there's a lot of Melt stands out there, but I don't think it's the best quality palette that I own in general. Jane really recently kind of said when she looked at my unboxing video, because I'm recording that the night that this went live, she said she would prefer the Blend Bunny Surge palette, and do you know what? I 100% agree. I would prefer the Blend Bunny Surge. This is okay. This shade does not blend out very well. It's quite patchy. I would also say the same, unfortunately, with the Guanmachil. Don't know how to pronounce that. I would also say there's not a massive amount of opacity on these shades, and they kind of don't blend out that well. This was wonderfully pigmented. Really, really liked that. I think the shimmers just aren't as good as you might like. I think that, you know, I just often think that Melt's eyeshadow palettes are just blown out of proportion. Oh my god, I'm going to get absolutely killed for this. My favourite one of theirs is the Radioactive. I swear by that palette. I think that is really, really cool. This, look, it's for the packaging. It's absolutely fabulous. And I really like it. I'm not going to get rid of it, partly because it's a sentimental thing. However, I would give this maybe a 6.5 out of 10. I do not think that the quality matches the very, very high price tag. I just don't. I don't. The rest of the items actually pretty good. The brush set, you know what? I thought I liked it, but I could do without it. You know, there's nothing wrong with it, but I think there's just as good out there for cheaper. I think if you were going to pick up anything, definitely pick up Estrella. Oh my lord, that is a beautiful gold liner. I'd say the blush palette is pretty decent. I like that as well. I would have liked, if you asked me, did I prefer that or did I prefer the Lunar Beauty Prism? I actually prefer the formula on the Prism. I think that's nicer and it's a little bit easier to build up. This, it's very easy to go clown very fast. I love the lip liners. I think they're fabulous. And I think the lipsticks are actually quite a nice little surprise as well, particularly this shade. So yeah, it was a mixed bag. Or a mixed box, I guess. I'm not going to bother rating the mirror because it's a mirror. Like, either it mirrors or it doesn't. And let's face it, I have my one from Lois. And I am a problematic queen. Anyways, that's the whole thing. That's the whole video. Do please like, comment and subscribe. Turn on that notification bell so you can see more videos or, you know, something else. Oh, who knows? Do please share, because sharing is caring, unless of course it's an STD, in which case, you know, wrap it up. Don't be gross. But that's it. That's the end of the video and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.